Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I want.
All right, peoples, my peoples, oh my God, my peoples. Today we have something very exciting. We have my modded, hot mod as I call it, Burromax TT 1600R. Originally a 1600 watt mid drive. But now, I'm gonna go through all the different upgrades. Now, it has a 13,000 watt lightning rod XL mid-drive motor. Lightning rod XL mid-drive, 13,000 watt. And it's now peaking at about 16,000 watt. It's got Michelin Starcross 5 dirt tires that are really freaking aggressive. It's got a 72 volt 38 amp hour battery with Mollycell P42 cells, and it has a Sabvoton right here, 72 volt 200 amp controller, and it has a more robust spring, pretty sweet spring, and it's just a freaking beast. And a kicker of all kickers, perhaps the only e-bike in the world with freaking reverse, people. Are you serious? This is the key used to be over here, now it's here. Turn it on, and then you've got reverse. Are you serious right now? Watch this. Very lightly. The bike's going backwards, people. Are you serious? It has reverse. So that's my bike. It's all kinds of bitching. This is pretty much my maiden voyage. And oh boy, am I freaking excited, people. So let's go for a ride, okay? All right. So, oh, I'm going backwards, people. God damn it. Isn't that crazy? So, this is like my maiden voyage. I'm getting used to it. I think these tires might actually be overkill. They're almost like, it's like riding on stilts. They're so high, you know? I don't know if I'm gonna get the traction I thought I was gonna get. I thought I was gonna get like uber traction. I'm not exactly sure. We'll have to see. Secondly, so I've ridden like 78 electric bikes now, including modded Sarons, an Onyx, an Enduro, a Delfast, the Segway X260, you know, on and on and on. And I've done a lot of research in terms of Newton meters of torque and what has what, etc., etc. To put it into perspective, a stock Saron has like 220 Newton meters of torque. I can tell you, having ridden just about everything out there, that this thing has close to 300 Newton meters of torque. It literally can just blow out from under you if you're not careful. It's crazy. Crazy torque. Watch this. Bam, bam, bam. I just barely touched the throttle and the thing takes off. There's like, let's say there's an inch of give in the throttle. I'm at like an eighth of an inch and I'm barely giving it. Hey there. How we doing? Good to see you. That's what you call a prick. That guy owns the freaking place. I'm on a motorcycle. He's not. I don't belong here. And I'm an asshole. Guy doesn't even freaking acknowledge my existence. What a piece of shit. That's what I call a piece of shit, people. All right. Now you know what a piece of shit looks like. That guy. It's just sad. Like, really, dude? Who the fuck are you? You know what I mean? I hate it. It happens all the time. Anytime you're on anything but a fucking bicycle. Like a true bicycle. You get hate. I don't fucking need hate from that asshole. You know what I mean? Anyhow, off we go. I'm trying to figure out what these tires are for if they're not meant for this. These are really freaking knobby tires. I thought they were going to just give me super traction, but it feels a little wonky, a little squirrely, I gotta tell you. I don't know what the hell's going on. I thought I was going to be like freaking Spider-Man, like sticking to the roads. You know what I mean? I gotta be careful, because this thing isn't very heavy in the front, and if I give it too much, it's gonna just pop a wheelie, which is not really what I'm going for right now. So I gotta be careful on the throttle. You know what I mean? All right. Okay, people. So the suspension, needless to say, is freaking amazing. It had a coil spring in the past, but I got a better one, and it's just even better now. So my friend Dominic is the one that did all the work. If you want to reach out to him and you're in Southern California, his Facebook is Domo, D-O-M-O, D-O-M-O, and he does some pretty stellar work, people. You just gotta catch him on a day he's not taking a nap, because that sometimes derails his efforts, if you know what I'm saying. Wake up, Domo, you know what I mean? So when the man's working, the man's got skills. So far so good on this thing. Came down here on my Eagle recently, and yeah, this thing kind of just flies over everything because the knobs are so big. But it's like, I feel like I need deeper dirt. Like if I was in like sand almost, or really deep dirt, this thing would probably rock, you know? I feel like this dirt is too hard packed. So it's almost like riding over like street. It needs like more dirt. It needs deeper dirt, you know? So I might have to find deeper dirt places to go. We're making her go, people. We're making her happen. There's something you gotta realize about Southern California. You don't have signs on trails, you know? It doesn't say anything. Like you could, theoretically, because there's no sign, bring a tractor trailer on this freaking trail if you can make it work, you know what I mean? So it's like when you see a piece of shit that's on a mountain bike and thinks he built the freaking trail himself, you know? Whereas great-grandpappy Giuseppe in 1807 built it, and he's just, you know, he's got the legacy, whatever the hell it is. He thinks he owns the freaking trail, but it's like, no, dude. Anybody could freaking ride this thing. I don't know who the fuck you think you are. It's like, I just want to smack people. I should have that right, if I want, to be able to smack people. Right? Oh, boy, people. So the only thing left stock on this bike, besides the frame, you know, the handlebars, you know, the fairing for the light, you know, the seat, the pegs, and then the hydraulic brakes, disc brakes, and I think 200mm rotors. Other than that, everything else is replaced, including the display, including this little knob over here for lights. It's got a front headlight and it's got a tail light. The brake light isn't working, so it's not engaged. It's not illuminating when you hit the brakes, which is fine. I had to sacrifice a few things, you know. But there's a big rewiring job. You know what I mean? People, it was a 52 volt, and now it's a 72 volt. And so a lot of things like don't work as prescribed, so we had to change some things around. Like for example, right between my legs is a little button. You flip it open and there's USB ports. Like those aren't working right now. Dominic said he could make it all work, but it just would have delayed the project, so I might have that done later, you know. But overall, I mean, we got a freaking rock solid bike, people, and the power is just insane. I'm telling you, I'm dealing with like an 1/8 of an inch, like 2 centimeters is how much I'm using of the throttle right now. Because if I just touch it, this thing pops a freaking wheelie. It's just unbelievable. So it's like a game of not, you know, giving it too much, or you're gonna just freaking fly into the freaking bushes. I'm telling you people, 300 Newton meters of torque is probably what we're looking at. Maybe even 350. You know, but keep in mind, a 220 or 210 Newton meter stock Saron comes with a 3 or 4,000 watt mid drive that has 6,000 peak. This thing is a 13,000 watt mid drive with 16,000 peak. Dominic did like the math, like it's rated at 13,000, but at the peak it's putting out 16,000. So it's like, this is like literally twice the freaking power, you know? And it's Saron has a 60 volt battery. This has a 72. And I guess with these Mollycells, apparently they're like the best cells you can get for batteries. It enables you to put out more power. So you're able to use more of the controller's power than you ordinarily would. So this is a 200 amp controller. Apparently I'm able to use all 200 amps, as where most battery systems wouldn't enable you to. And it's got a battery management system that enables me to do that. So apparently I've got, like, you know, freaking rocket, like a Rocketdyne bike, you know, straight out of the freaking labs, you know? Like rocket engineers built this thing, and it's got like turbo boost, like beyond turbo boost. So I'm just trying to figure out how to stay alive, people. You know what I mean? So far so good. I will say, like all little bikes, you're kind of like up over the handlebars almost when you're going down a hill. So you got to really like lean back. You know what I mean? When I get on a straightaway of like street or dirt, I'll show you like what the real freaking top line power of this thing is. So I will say that Dominic let me borrow it, or he had me ride it like a couple weeks ago before he was finished. And he's like, what do you think? And I'm like, literally, dude, the thing flew out from under me and I had to catch it in the air. Like my hands were still on the handlebars, but the entire bike flew up in the air and I had to like kind of lower it down, you know? The thing was just way the fetch too powerful. So he dialed it way back. So I'm guessing this thing has probably only 70% of its literal power right now, which is even crazy. Because right now it's so freaking powerful, I can't even imagine it more powerful than this. But yeah, so thing's got like mega power if I wanted to, even more than this. But it's like, what the hell do you need that for? That's what I was telling him. Like, what are you gonna do with that power? That's just insane, you know? Like, you're gonna freaking kill yourself, you know? So hot mod is what I'm calling this biatch. It's my hot mod. You know what I mean? With me? You guys with me? Nod your head. Yes, no, yes, yes, yes. Okay. I don't know if you've been noticing my channel of late, but 4 days ago, I got a notification from, there's this website called vidIQ that like YouTubers use, and it kind of gives you like stats on your YouTube channel. And 4 days ago, it gave me a notification that I reached 1 million views. Today, 4 days later, I've reached 2 million views. And I actually, in theory, in reality, I have 2.6 million views. How is this possible? Well, if you look at one of my shorts from like a week ago, it's Saron's being pulled over by cops. It has almost 2 million views, people. Are you serious? And that one freaking 34-second short, first of all, has 11,000 watch hours. It's 34 seconds, people. And it's gotten me 1,700 new subscribers. So as of right now, as of riding this bike, I have 5,700 subscribers. And yesterday I was in the 4s, and 2 days ago I had 4,200. So in 2 days I got 1,500 subscribers, and I'm averaging about 400 or 500 a day now. So I don't know how long this ride's gonna go, but I mean, Jesus, you know, it's like, wow, one freaking amazing video and off you go. It's taken me, let's see, it would have taken me ordinarily to get that extra 1,600 that I've gotten so far, or 1,700 from this one video. It would have taken me, I average about 1,000, 3 months. It would have taken me about 5 months ordinarily, and I did it in 4 days. Isn't that something? It's nuts. If you type in Suron or S-U-R-R-O-N or S-U-R space R-O-N, one of those, into YouTube, my short comes up pretty high. And that's what it's all about. Ranking, people. It's all about ranking. You with me? So yeah, this where it's a little sketchy because you can't really go off the back seat because you're just, the thing is too small. So I gotta like lean back, you know? I think if I tried to like take my butt off the seat and lean way back, I'd be like literally on the ground. So I'm trying to just lean back, people. I hope you're with me, because this all makes sense if you really just pay attention. And this is freaking aggressive terrain right here, people. Oh boy. So I will say this thing goes over rocks like nothing. These Michelin tires are like the hardest tires I've ever felt. Like, just rock solid like a motorcycle. So like you don't feel anything, you know? It's crazy. When Dominic is impressed, you know you got something going. And these tires, like granted he told me to get them, but he was impressed at how freaking amazing these tires are, how solid they are, you know? If you can impress Dominic, then you're doing something right. And he's customized a lot of those Razers, the Razer RS 650 and the Razer MX 650, and then the Razer Rambler, you know, 16, Razer Rambler 12, all those things. And he even said that this bike, granted it's more expensive than those, but it just has so much better of a frame. It's just so much more solid, you know? So this is like a motorcycle body almost, and he freaking built a Superman bike out of it. And it's like, instead of using like a Razer frame, which works for people, this thing is even more robust, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I'm just telling it like it is, people. I don't exactly know what that means, like what's the outcome of that. The other ones are gonna break, I don't know, probably not, but this thing is never gonna break. You know what I mean? God, I wish I could express to you how powerful this motor is, people. It's like, so the fastest bike I've ever been on was this guy Chris in Southern Orange County. He had a he had the BAC 8000 controller on his Suron and an 18,000 watt motor. And you just touch that throttle and that thing would literally just take you to Mars. It was literally unbelievable. It was scary. I don't even know how the guy rode it. He's a freaking master rider. I don't know how he did it. That thing is just like a fucking beast. Anyway, that was the most powerful bike I've ever been on. The most powerful bike I've ever owned has been my Eagle, Cab Eagle. And I've taken it to all kinds of rides and I've blown everybody away. That's a 7,000 watt hub motor with 10,000 peak. This is a 13,000 watt mid-drive with 16,000 peak. It's a different level. Like this would blow. If you could effectively ride this without the front popping up, like you have to almost lean forward, this thing would blow that out of the water. And as far as like my Eagle goes, I've never faced a hill I couldn't go up. And this thing, I mean, there's nothing on planet Earth this thing can't go up, you know? This is freaking interesting, isn't it, people? What the hell's this? Oh boy. And somebody got chained up out here. Okay. Got a little water situation here. Trying not to fall in, that would really suck. We did it, peoples. You were probably wondering, you're like, is he gonna be able to swing this? Well, he does. He did. It swung. Consider it swung. So I've been down here so many times. But I honestly don't know exactly where I am right now. I do know that right there, you have to remember when I come back, there's that Wildwood Canyon and the TP to make a right. Okay. I'm not exactly sure where I'm at. I've come from the other entrance. These are the Wildwood Trails in Thousand Oaks, California. And I've come here from other directions, and I'm not exactly sure where I am. My bearings are slightly off. Okay, people? But dare I say, I'm starting to get used to these tires. I think I just had to get used to them. Yeah, I mean, they have like really crazy grip. Like a lot of bikes you would like slide when you're turning real sharp in the dirt. This thing, not so much. You know? Okay, what is this? Is this that waterfall thing? Yeah, this is that waterfall thing. We're not gonna go that way. See, it goes way up there. That's just a pain in the ass. Really cool waterfall over there. Called Paradise Falls. Okay, so I know exactly where I am. Interesting how these paths connect. Who freaking knew? I didn't freaking know. See that turn I just did right there? I might have slid on my Eagle. Not on this one. You guys want to go in the water? So I could launch. I could launch off this thing. And wind up right in the water. That's how powerful this is. I wish there was a way for me to like put this on a dyno or whatever the hell it is, where it's got the wheels in the ground that spin and it lets you, without you actually moving the bike, it lets you test its power, test its torque. Because I'm telling you, the torque on this is upwards of 300 plus Newton meters. Watch this. You guys see that? I was already going 20 miles an hour and I just hit the throttle and it literally popped the wheel. Like, that's how freaking powerful this shit is. Just watch this. This is a really freaking steep hill. This is probably a 12 or 16% grade. The only reason I'm going slow is because I keep popping a wheelie here. I'm trying to be careful not to pop a wheelie, but like there's nothing that's stopping this bike from going, I'll tell you that much. I could probably go up this hill at 50 miles an hour if I really wanted to. Yeah, there's just nothing that's stopping this thing, people. Let's try to go up this fast. You guys see that? I'm almost like hydroplaning. I'm going so goddamn fast. I'm almost like in the air, and this thing is so freaking powerful. Isn't that nuts? Wow. Unbelievable, people. Craziness. Okay, we're gonna go that way, and then we're gonna call it. So I've been down here before on my Super 73. This is a different scenario, people. That would be like riding a VW Bug, and this would be like riding a monster truck. You know what I mean? That's the difference in power, in grip, in stability, in durability. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, all of a sudden, it just seems like all of a sudden, more and more YouTubers are putting out shorts. And did you know, in 2020, I just heard the statistic from, it was either Mr. Big, no, not Mr. Big, it was Mr. Big was being interviewed by a guy at YouTube who like works on the algorithm. And he was saying in 2020, 11% of YouTube videos watched are long form videos. 2020, 11%. Now it's 57%. Okay, let me take that back. 11% of videos watched were shorts in 2020. Only 11% of videos were shorts that people watched. Now it's 57% of all videos watched on YouTube are shorts. It's a ball game where people don't have any freaking attention span, people want 30 seconds. That's why my little 34-second short is taking off, you know. But at the same time, I'm noticing I'm not getting as much pull through on my my long form videos. So, and I know that's what you guys probably like. Although a lot of you guys now have joined from my shorts, so it's kind of a mix now. But I'm gonna try to do, you know, a fair amount of shorts because I can do them really easy and quick and fast. And I'm gonna still do my videos. I'm gonna try to put out, you know, every several days a long form, but it might be more like every week or so now. So just a heads up, people. Just trying to keep you apprised of my situazione. Okay, so I put a little Spanish there, like that. So all these trails connect. It's insane. It's one. Okay, Thousand Oaks has one trail of like 1,000,000 miles, and it's got all these different tributaries, and they all connect. And my mind is constantly blown with like, holy shit, that's where we are. You know what I mean? So like, it just happened again. My mind is blown. Oh, this guy's gonna be a dick. I'm gonna get out of here. I don't need dicks. I got one. Sure as hell don't need another one. What the hell's this? Oh, you guys seen that? Another thing. But I don't want to do it. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go backwards. Are you guys serious? Watch this. We're literally going backwards. That's how brilliant this freaking thing is. Oh my god. How many bikes have reverse? How many of you seen or heard of that have reverse? The Dominic City has it at like 20% output. So this thing could potentially go. So okay, the top speed on this is apparently around 50 or 60. It could go a lot faster. It could probably go 80, but he has it dialed way back. So let's just say it's at 55, we're gonna call it. I could go 55 miles an hour in reverse if I was able to make that work. Isn't that crazy? So he's got it dialed way down. So the controller connects to a an app on the computer where you can just change just about anything. You know, how much power's off the line, how much top speed, how much torque, how much this, how much that. The acceleration curve, like, is it all at once? Is it slowly and gradually, you know? Can you dial it back? Are you giving full power? You know what I mean? So it's like, there's just so many things you can do with it. You guys see that right there? I mean, literally. Within half a second, I'm at like 40 miles an hour. The only problem with these scenarios is you got to remember where you're going and how to get back, because there's all these little tributaries you got to catch. I think I got it. Yeah, that turn I just made right there, I didn't slide. I would have totally slid on my Eagle, no question. You can see my tire mark, see? It's making some freaking tread. I think I meant to say my tire treads are going to make some marks. That's what I meant to say. You know what I meant to say. You're with me. You're on the ball. You got it. You get it. It's almost like I need a sandbag in the front. It's not really light in the front, but it's light enough that I could feel it like lifting up, and that's kind of terrifying, considering I don't know how to freaking do wheelies. Speaking of wheelies, my friend, which I believe I can call him now, my friend, the Saronster, saw this bike over at Dominic's when he was getting fixed, and he told me to tell him when it was done. I just told him last night, and he wants to do a video on it, so that will be coming soon. That'll be pretty cool. This will give me a shout out, you know. don't know if you're aware, but the man's got some visibility on the YouTubes. Very cool guy. Very secretive about his persona. I was over there and he does everything on his phone, and he was videoing something and I said his real name and he goes, "Wait, you can't say that." I'm like, "I thought you were just hanging out with us." He goes, "No, I'm making a video, man. Everything's a video." I'm like, "Oh my god, okay." So I couldn't use his real name anymore. I had to just call him "Hey you" or "Hey buddy," "Yo chief," you know what I mean? So anyhow, you know what I'm saying. You know exactly what I mean. Okay, is this the one where there's a TP? Yeah. Okay, so Limmer Trail is what we're going on, people. And you can see here I've got 81.6 volts, and this battery starts out at 84 and it goes to 66, I believe. So I've still got probably 85% battery, which is nuts, because Dominic didn't even charge it all the way. Okay, we're in the freaking ocean right now, people. I don't know if you can tell. Trying not to go in. Just trying to stay alive. That's all we're doing. Yeah, I should be able to, by law, as a law-abiding citizen, I should be able to smack one mountain biker a month without any repercussions. Like, that should be the law. One. I don't need to do many. Just give me one. Let me smack one asshole a month. Okay? Look at that, people. Are you seeing this? Tearing it up. Killing it. So many freaking trails around here. Like that, like butter, people. It was literally like butter. 1/8 of an inch, I'm turning the freaking throttle. 1/8 of an inch. If I go to a 1/2 an inch, this thing will literally pop a wheelie. You can hear it, right? You can hear just how freaking these stallions want to be unleashed. See that? Like, Jesus Christ, people. But I will say I like what Dominic did where he throttled it back, meaning I have a little more play with the throttle. When I first rode it a couple weeks ago, and I would literally turn the throttle a millimeter, the thing would take off like a rocket. Now I've got a little bit of play where I can literally, if I wanted to, turn it 1/4 of a millimeter and go like 3 miles an hour if I want. So that's the amount of play I have, which is cool. You still have to be sensitive and very, you know, whatever it is, nimble on the throttle to do that, but I can. I don't always need to go rocket speed, you know what I mean? Like, I want to be able to go slow occasionally. I know I'm supposed to make a left right there, but I wanted to see what this was all about. And that goes somewhere too, huh? Where's that go? Did it, people. We did it, and we're still doing it. We're gonna go up this little hill here and see what that's all about. See what that's all about. I was in Canada last year, and they really do talk like that. What are you talking about? A bull? I don't know what the hell this is. This is a tributary, people. A tributary to the tributary. See, one thing I can say, when you're going around a turn and it slopes down, you know, from the left, let's say. What the fetch is it? Oh, steps? No, thank you. When you're going around a turn and it's like sloping from the left, you know, and you're trying to like hug the wall, this thing enables you to do that way more than other bikes. You know? I might have to use my reverse. Unbelievable. Dominic told me about reverse, and I'm like, really, dude? Like, what the hell? Like, that's just overkill, you know? He's like, you'd be surprised. And I've already used it twice, and it's helped me a lot. So, I don't know. Like, am I on? Is he on to something? Are we on to something? Because I'm using the goddamn thing, so it's a we now. One of my other friends, Chris, I have like 19 friends named Chris. He is from around here. He grew up here. I didn't. And he's ridden everywhere. And he saw, last time I was on this trail on my Eagle, he watches all my videos. And he saw the trail and he's like, where the hell is it? I don't even know where that is. So he's getting an e-bike put together. He's like building his own, and I gotta take him here. Oh, we're going off path there, people. See that shit? Damn. Yeah, this thing can cut back a lot easier than my Eagle with the Shinko tires, which aren't the most grippy in the world. They're more of a hybrid tire, street dirt. This is 1000% dirt tire. Like, couldn't be much more dirt tire than this, unless you get paddle tires for the sand, you know what I mean? These are like a step below. Who the hell doesn't like acknowledge somebody when they say hi to you? I don't care if I did something you don't like or not, but at least acknowledge me, you dumbass. Piece of donkey shit. Like, who does that? You know, who? You tell me who does that in life. Nobody. Humans don't do that. Humans are a social species. I don't care if you're a piece of shit. You say hi, I'm at least going to acknowledge you. I'm going to be like, you're an asshole, or hi, or, you know, whatever. But I'm going to acknowledge you, whether it's positive or negative. At least I'm going to acknowledge your existence. The guy literally looked through me. And I said, hey, and he looked through me. Like I didn't even exist. That's the lowest form of life. Somebody who does that, you know what I mean? At least acknowledge my existence. Call me an asshole, something. But don't even like freaking look at me. And when I say hi, you literally don't even look. You look through me like I'm not there. Who the hell does that? So I have too many e-bikes right now. I'm trying to sell some, and I usually have really good luck selling bikes. I'm having some issues selling a couple. So, I don't know. Might need to buy a shed just for my extra bikes, because now I think I have 6. And they're just starting to pile up, you know? Plus we've got like 4 road bikes. So it's just like the garage is getting really packed, people. You know what I mean? So, unless you got a solution for me. And e-bikes, you don't really hang because they're too heavy, you know? So that's not really a solution. So, one other thing about this bike I forgot to tell you. I'm not exactly sure why Dominic did it. Oh, I know why. When Dominic was putting the bike together and taking the wheels off and putting the new tires on, whatever, apparently he popped the rear inner tube. And then he made it a tubeless. Apparently you need to put some other stem on there or something, this, that, and the other. It's the rear tire now is tubeless. So there's a tube in the front, but there's no tube in the back. Isn't that interesting? I didn't even know that was possible. You could just do that, but he did. So I just want there to be full disclosure. I want you to know everything there is to know about this hot mod. I know a lot of you are going to be like, that's a stupid name. And it's like, I don't care. I think it's badass. Picture in the thumbnail right now, hot mod. And I'll put a picture of like a Matchbox car, you know, hot rods. Boys get it. Any boy over 30 gets it. Needless to say, you're not going to be peeling out with these tires. Like, it's going to grab tread, it's going to grab dirt every time. There'll be no peeling out. Even if I were to gun it, yeah, it still holds tread. Okay, that was interesting. I just went around a turn with a bunch of gravel, and it just dug in. Like, it digs in. The teeth of the tread dig in so you don't slide. But that's interesting. Yeah, I just got to get used to this thing. Got serious advantages with these tires. They can feel a little waffly on hard packed. That's because it's not meant for that, you know, it's not meant for that. When it's loose, it's brilliant. So like on the street, this thing isn't the best. It works, it's not the most comfortable. But I seriously got this for 95% dirt. Seriously. That's what it's for. I'm gonna try to lean back and not have to slow down too much. It'd be awesome if mountain bike Ken was like right there and I like slammed into him, made him cry. That'd be brilliant. And then he would be like, ah! He would acknowledge me then, wouldn't he? He'd need my freaking help. I'd tell him to go F himself. What the hell is this? Is that okay? There's two different trails here. So that's where you start. Okay, so this is a different tributary. Who the hell knows where this winds up? I have no idea. Does this run parallel? Does this go all the way to Newbury Park? Does this wind up back at the same stupid spot the other one does? And it certainly seems that way. Yeah, this thing grips around turns really well. So James, my friend from before, he's still my friend, but haven't ridden with him in a long time. He moved to Croatia. He's not living there permanently. He's living there for a couple of years, and he's already been there for shit, almost a year as it is. So anyway, he's going to be coming back soon for a little bit. We're going to hook up. So you'll probably be seeing him in a video or two pretty soon. He's always fun to ride with. Pretty good rider. Taught me everything I know. Unless I fall, and then he would claim that he didn't teach me that. So James has, I did a video on it, he has a Razer RS650 that has this kind of a setup, but even more. It's got a BAC 8000 controller. So controllers in terms of power output go, this one at like the Sabvoton at like 200 amps. Then there's a BAC 4000, which is like 400 to 600 amps output. And then there's a BAC 8000, which puts out like 800 or 1000 amps. And I've got the 200. And then he doesn't have the 400, he has the 8, or he doesn't have the 4000, he has the 8000. So he has like literally like 1,000 watts of output. And apparently he's got like an 18 watt motor and Dominic said it can peak at like 25. And apparently the Saronster rode it, and apparently went 80 miles an hour on it, so it's just nuts. But it's street. It's all street tire stuff. So he's not coming out here on that thing. He's got to use his Saron. So apparently these Mollycells that this bike has, apparently it matters. It really matters what kind of cells you have. I always thought you just wanted to have a brand name cell like Samsung or something. But apparently these Mollycells are like what it's really all about. And you really want to have these Mollycells. Apparently they're just like be all and end all. And they give you crazy output. It's not about the range per se, it's more about the power output. They enable you to put out more power through your controller. A lot of controllers can't use the full amount of the controller output because their battery can't handle it. Apparently these cells, these Mollycells, enable you to kind of use as much of the controllers you want. So, you guys seen these cacti? Post-cacti syndrome. A couple of years back, or a year and a half back, when I hit that goddamn cactus, I think I still have a couple thorns in my shin that never came out. Sure, it's a lot of fun, people. A lot of fun. Whoa, sure. And I don't want to like stop. I feel like I need to go back again or something. Not all the way back, but a little bit back. Because I'm just not done. You know what my dad used to say? Cakes are done. People are finished. And I said, you know what, Dad? I'm done with this conversation. I need life, you know. My dad was like a professional editor for like the Army Corps of Engineers, and he like get these 1,000-page reports and they have to edit them. And he's like the most meticulous, he was the most meticulous, you know, speller, editor, grammar freak in the history of the world. And loved to say, like, one time I gave him a book that I wrote, and I had a friend edit it for me. My friend was like a professional editor also of like a magazine, and I gave my dad the book, and he gave it back to me with like 1,000 red marks on it of like things that were wrong. And I'm like, are you serious? That's really what you just did with my freaking book? And he's like, yeah, sorry about that. But apparently he used to do that with his friends' letters before, you know, internet and all that. He would take his friends' letters and mark them up in red and send them back. That was my dad. Isn't that something? Yeah, he's no longer with us, but I'm honoring his memory with the talk of grammar, his grammar prowess. He was like a ninja as far as grammar goes, you know, a grammar ninja, if you will. I tell you, when you go up hills real fast in this kind of terrain, especially when you're at a dead stop and you give it some throttle, you peel out. These don't really peel out. They really don't. It's awesome when I can see my tread, because this thing is like digging into the dirt. Yeah, these don't peel out at all. Like zero. So that's interesting, huh? Probably gonna come to that water crossing, which I'm not gonna do. Let's see if I can make this without getting off. I did it, I did it, I did it, I did it. I did it, people. Yeah, that was crazy what I just did. I went up to the left on a slant, and this thing kept grip. It didn't slide away. Most other bikes would have slid. This thing kept the grip. That's amazing. It's like a wall climber. It's a wall climber, people. You know what I mean? So if you could manage this thing, you could do some crazy freaking wheelies on it. That's for damn sure. If you can manage it. I don't know how to do that per se. sure some people can manage it. Perhaps the Saronster will be trying to do some wheelies on it. But I gotta tell them to be like way the F careful, man, because this thing is uber powerful. Like, I don't care how good of a rider you are, you gotta be careful, because you can't just gun it. You're gonna literally fly off of it and the bike's gonna go flying, you know? So yeah, this trail was so much fun. I did it twice. I'm gonna stop before that water crossing because I just don't feel like doing that again. It's kind of annoying. Permanent, look at this. Berman. Berman. Berman for some vermin. You guys, you caught that, right? That was almost a necessity. I had to do that. That was just like a softball just sitting there waiting for me to pick it up. Uh-oh, am I gonna have to use reverse? Oh no. Look at this berm. It's my friend Adam who has the other Eagle, the Cat Motorworks Eagle. Man, berms everything. Everything. Like, he even makes berms that aren't there. Everything's a berm. The man does not go straight. Everything's a berm. And I'm like, Jesus, man, these tires on this thing aren't the greatest. Like on the Eagle, it's got those Shinkos, which are amazing dual sport, but they're not very grippy. I'm like, dude, you're gonna slip. But he doesn't. He doesn't. I do. I slip. He does not slip. He's a very good rider too. I've ridden with a lot of really good riders. You know? And by no stretch of the imagination but I classify myself as a good rider. But at one point I was a beginner. I'm definitely not a beginner. I've ridden so many different trails. I've been to so many different places now. I would say I'm a low intermediate, you know? I strive to be an intermediate, but I'm a low intermediate. And I'm alright with that. I'm fine with that. Oh, somebody's calling me. Really? What the hell do they want? What do they want? Ugh. See, the wheelbase from rear to front is not very long, you know what I mean? So like when you go down a hill like that, there's not a lot of body. The whole bike goes down with you. So you gotta like be real careful when you're going down a little like drop like that. Gotta lean way that back. Oh, really? Somebody locked me in? That's kind of interesting. Or is it locked? No, it's not even locked. I could do it myself. Okay. All right, peoples. We're gonna go back. We're gonna call it a day. All right, let's see. We're at 79.7, 79.8 volts, which means it starts at 84. I'm still at like 75% battery. That's how crazy this battery is. It's just nuts. See this drop right here? That was tough on this little teeny bike. I get a lot of spam calls. You guys get a lot of spam calls? It's really freaking annoying. I hate the spam calls. And the phone even tells you it's spam risk. Like, it's alright, well, it's freaking spam. So I'm just gonna, you know, not listen to it. But they just keep calling. And calling. Like, what do they want? I don't need dance lessons, okay? It's like they keep calling about random shit that I don't care about. They want to refinance my home. I don't want to refinance my home. You know, they want to extend the warranty on my car. I don't want to extend the warranty on my car. Berman. That was for you, Adam. Air Fox Media. Check him out. Cool guy. It's just too far. He's like a good hour away, and he doesn't have a truck, so I got to go there, and I don't know. I like hanging out with the guy a lot, but it's just kind of a pain to get there, you know? Kind of lives in the middle of nowhere. It's like way back off the beaten path. You know, like I don't even think like hillbillies would live there. It's just too far back. It's like you got back and then he goes back from there. And very cool little town, but like, I don't know, it's just too damn far back. Right on the highway, and then he goes 77 miles through these little tributary streets to get to his house. You know? But again, very fun to hang out with him. Everything's a cliff. Have you noticed that? There are no trails that are just like between like two mountains or something. There's always a cliff on one side. Why is that? Why is there always a freaking cliff? Now, can I go through this without falling off too? Like go up it without falling off? No. This is kind of like a little bit of bullshit right here, people. Oh boy. It's hard to tell, but that's kind of sketchy right there. Sketchiness. So yeah, the Burromax, good platform for expansion. And they have told me that they're actually working on a beefed up controller and a 72 volt battery. So they're kind of doing what I did soon. And it's going to be affordable. It's not going to be what this costs. It's going to be affordable, which is interesting. I don't know how they're going to pull it off, but that's what they've told me. So that's exciting. I think they were gonna like send me the kit for this bike, and then I told them that I am already doing it. They're like, oh, okay, that sucks. We wanted you to try, try it out or whatever. So yeah, that should be coming soon probably. I won't be using it because I've already done it myself, but I know a lot of people that would like it because the Burromax page on Facebook, I told them a few weeks back that I'm getting my bike modded, and like the interest was like, woo, a lot of ears perked up, you know. I gotta go on there and put like all the specs now. But yeah. So I'm gonna link in this video to all the different parts that this bike has. Okay, except for maybe the spring, because I'm not exactly sure what that is. I'll see if I can see what it is. But I didn't purchase that. Dominic had it and he just put it on. Yeah, this thing has like teeth and it like digs into the ground. Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw that, but I didn't slide there. That is, I just had to put my foot down, but I didn't slide. And that's insane. So it's interesting, my least favorite part of these trails usually is the loose stuff. And now, dare I say, I actually enjoy it because this thing can handle it. I really don't like the hard pack stuff because this thing is kind of like, you know, it's on stilts when it's going over the hard pack stuff. So hard pack trails, my Eagle's actually probably better. Because I'm not gonna be slipping on this on my Eagle, but there's not a lot of dirt for this to dig into. You know what I mean? With these tires. What I might actually do is ride this on the street sometimes and try to wear down those knobs a little bit. They're just a little too much. I know that's easier said than done, but I still might try. Where is this going? Okay, I know where I'm going. So you gotta know where you're going, people. There are no signs, there are no street signs. You gotta feel it out and remember. Yeah, so this thing likes this. It likes this gravel. It likes this looseness. See that? Oh wow. I didn't fall. I would have fallen or at least slid and hydroplaned on my other thing. Not on this. Watch this, people. Oh my god. That was like I said, if there's an inch of travel on this throttle, that was like a third of an inch. and I've been hovering around 1/8 of an inch the whole time. I barely touched the throttle, people. I need you to understand that. I barely touched it, and the thing goes off like a freaking rocket, you know? Just Jesus. It's funny though, Dominic, we were talking last night, and I'm like, what the hell do you, he's like, yeah, so you got this amount of power and blah, 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 and I dialed it back for him. I'm like, yeah, but what do you need all that power for? We were talking about James's bike, because he did James's bike, and James's bike goes 80 miles an hour, and it's got like, you know, if this thing has 300 Newton meters of torque, that thing probably has like 500, seriously. And I'm like, what the hell do you need the power for? He goes, honestly, I have no idea. And he's like, I don't even want to ride those bikes. He didn't even want to test James' bike, because he's like, it's just too freaking powerful. But he said it's just like a, you know, like a dick measuring contest. Who's got, you know, the bigger dick, right? That's what it's kind of like, I guess. Like, because I don't really give a shit. I don't need to compete with people. I really don't. But like, you know, because this thing, I'm going to tell you what the specs are, but it has way more power than I'm using. I don't even just mean by like not pulling the throttle. I mean, he has it programmed, so it's not even using all the power. It has way more power than it's even programmed to be using right now. That's what's nuts, you know? Like, I don't know the percentages, but it feels like I'm at most 85% of its capacity. It's probably even less than that. Funny, I've been riding that little Bromax 750, and for weight comparisons, the Bromax 750 is 53 pounds, I think, and this thing's 89 stock. Now this thing's well over 100 because the 72-volt battery is huge and it's heavy. But riding this compared to that, this feels like I'm on like a Harley Davidson size compared to that little one. But yet this thing is pretty small too, you know? Just puts it all into perspective. I'll tell you though, what's really cool about this bike, besides everything else I've been talking about it, is that you're pretty low to the ground. As opposed to my Eagle. My Eagle, I'm probably like a good 6-8 inches higher, or maybe even more than that, 10 inches higher. On this thing, you're so low that like a couple times there were like, you know, some rocks I had to go through, and I could just put my foot down so easy. And like, not just the tip of my toe, like my entire freaking bottom of my foot, you know, and then some. I put pressure on it because my legs are so low to the ground. It's just, you have more confidence when you're that low, you know. Pretty cool. So there's that also. Alright, this is kind of aggressive, people. I don't know if you can tell. You probably can't. It's kind of a sketchy situation. Ugh. Good tires or not, this is just like rock haven. Like, fuck. Okay, I'm gonna try to go over here away from the rocks. That'll be nice. Yeah, there's just rocks everywhere, people. Jesus Christ. I don't care how good your tires are, you're not tough jockeying through that crap. So I got a an email from the international marketing director for Razer. And she's like, hey, I saw your video on the Razer Rambler 16, and I love the way you do videos, and you obviously know what you're talking about, and it just, thanks so much, great video. And she's love it, like, I'd love to catch up sometime and like talk about, you know, stuff with you. I guess, you know, types of bikes, I don't know, whatever. And then I'm like, yeah, cool. I was just at my friend's house, Dominic's by the way, and he was talking about the Razer Rambler 12, which is a smaller version. And I said, yeah, it's interesting. My friend of mine was just talking about the Razer Rambler 12. I said, that'd be kind of cool to get some time. And she goes, I can help with that. What color do you like? And I'm like, I don't know, white. And then 4 days later, I got one in the mail. So that's pretty cool. You know, so there's some nice people out there. She said she just wants to pick my brain on stuff. And I'm gonna tell her that she needs to have higher bigger battery options and bigger motor options, because everybody's taking their bikes, taking everything out and customizing them. But it's like, if they can make bigger, more powerful ones, I mean, granted, some people are still going to need way more power, but if they could put in, like, let's say a 48 volt lithium ion battery instead of a 24 volt lead acid, for example, they could charge more and they could reach another audience, you know, more serious audience. So, I don't know. I'm going to tar that for what it's worth. Take it or leave it. So my wife rode that little Razer Rambler 12. I freaking loved it. It was the first bike she's ever ridden of mine, really. She rode up the street on a Rad Runner once, like up the street and back, that's it. But she literally, when I got it out of the box, she goes, oh, that's cute. And then I'm like in the kitchen doing something and she's like sitting on it. And she's like, I could ride this. I'm like, yeah, you could. And so we went to a park that has like a circle path around, like around a track, if you will. And we rode for like 45 minutes. And she was so happy. She was like giddy. And I'm like, oh my God, this is great. So needless to say, she's in the weight range of it. I'm not. And yeah, I exceed it by quite a bit. And so she liked it. So God bless her. I don't think I'll be riding it anytime soon, but my wife likes it. A lot of dry brush, people. A lot of dry brush. It's not really a path through here. Oh, there sort of is. Funny how stuff seems really sketchy on the way up, and then you get used to it, and by the time you're on the way back, you're like, I was scared of that. So I think I've like dulled the sharpness of some of these turns. You know what I'm saying there? You get that? Figuratively, you know what I'm trying to say? I would pay to have this stupid metal bar go away. Like, just pay. Good money. Get this stupid thing over it. Damn it. Don't like that. We did it, people. We did it. Now I gotta go in the street and get back to my car. Maybe we'll do a little street run and I'll show you what that's all about. What I have to do is put my phone holder and then my phone with the what do you call it, app? What's the app? The speedometer app, and we'll see how what the top speed of this thing is. That's gonna be next. Always amazes me that I'm tired after riding an electric bike that I don't pedal. Like, I have no reason to be tired, but I am. Isn't that weird? I should check my tires real quick. Make sure we're good. Yeah. All right. We'll speed test here, people. Or is this just a cul-de-sac? Yeah, he's got it dialed back. It doesn't go as fast as it probably could. You can tell it's like holding itself back, but I'm sure it at least goes 50. But the power from like 0 to 30 or 40 is really something. Yeah, he's definitely got it throttled back, which is good. I don't need that kind of power. But he said this thing could easily go probably 70. You know? Just don't need it. What am I gonna do with that? could probably get more top speed, or I know I can for sure, but like, why? You know what happens when you have more top speed? You use it. And I don't need to be using it, so. Anyway, peoples, thanks for coming for the ride. And appreciate you hanging out with me and my hot mod. My very souped up Burromax TT 1600R, and it's now a 13,000 watt R. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, leave me a comment, and I'll try to get back to you if you ask me a question. And more content to come, peoples. Thanks for watching. God bless. Peace out.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead.